All right, we got some gold to give away. So I took all the bottoms off of our gold corner BGAs. We're starting with 241 grams. And as you can see, we've got some with the copper heatsink in it. But what a beautiful day. 50 degrees out right now. Couldn't ask for a better time for a fire. All right, after a fresh burn, see these bad boys, nice and white. Let's get a couple in here. See how they grind up. I am going to try and pick up the copper heat sinks up too. In this process, this stage of the game I should say, they grind up really nicely. And copper heat sinks come out nice and clean. Alright, well, I'm just going to do the rest of this here. I don't know, maybe I'll do a little bit of fast forward action here for a minute, and then, yeah, we'll get on to putting them in the mill. Alright, well, got everything in the mill here, and just have to add the actual mill balls. But I eliminated all of the copper out of there. I got all the copper heat sinks. So that's one less thing we have to deal with. Alright. There we go. Throw those in there. I think I got a couple more. Yep, there they are. Alright, and that's it. I'll let this run overnight. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll check on it, see what it looks like. The ash is pretty dark. There was a couple of them that weren't as quite where I wanted it to be. So after this is all milled up tomorrow, smashed, I'm going to throw it on a burner, just on the grill, and let it cook for a while, see if I can lighten the color of this ash up so that I know I don't have, well, I can't say any carbon, but way less carbon than I currently have, because that's going to absorb the gold. And I don't want the carbon to have the gold. I want us to have the gold, right? Quarter goes to you, rest goes to baby girl. So I'm good with that. Alright, so this is a couple hours in the mill here. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, pour it back into my stainless bowl. I want to try and burn it just a little bit. That looks a little dark yet. I think we still have quite a bit of carbon in there. So I'll bring it back in when I get everything back on and on the burner. Alright, time for some gravity separation. Let's see here. Get some water out. Stuff turned out pretty gray. Turned out pretty good, actually. So I'll just do a fast forward clip of this. Don't want to breathe that. Alright, now we'll let it sit for a little bit. Any of that gold that's floating around in the water column, we'll let it sink down to the ground, and go ahead and pour it off into the little bucket. Alright, well, we've been letting this sit for, I don't know, about a minute or two. Not crazy long. Slowly pour this water off. Alright, rinse and repeat. We do it again. I'll get you back in screen when I've got everything gravity separated. Alright, so little pan action here. I probably could go further with the gravity separation, but a lot of this stuff is starting to kind of mix together here. So I don't know how well that's showing up, but a bunch of gold there. Let's see. See if we can get any more complete wires. Let's see, we'll go like this. Okay. But see how the wires kind of float? Got a whole bunch of them right there. I don't want to go any further or risk losing any. I do have that bucket left, so everything that's going to be real fine stuff. And then of course I was panning off into another pan over here. So I think we're going to give this a couple of rinses with some distilled water, and I think we're going to go from there. All right, back in the lab. So we got all the goods out. Still here in the bucket. I got to put them in the beaker, and then we got to rinse them off because that's all tap water, city water. So we got chlorine in there. And then the first job we got to do is nitric. So if we got chlorine in the beaker or in the water, tying along with all our goods, we're going to make silver chloride. Just in case there's a little bit of silver in there, we want to collect that. So I'll do a couple of rinses and get back to you. There we can see all the gold down there. Alright, well, we can see it. Let's go get it. Alright, time for some nitric. Let's get this bad boy in here quick. This guy. Three. Do 6. Just to start with. See if we get a good reaction, which I can see happening right off the bat. Let's go like this here. There we go. Well, we're gonna let this nitric eat and come back. We'll check on it. We may have to throw a little bit more in there, which is no biggie. And then we're going to go into Aqua regia. Alright, so it looks like we've got a pretty decent reaction going on. Now, I'm just going to give this a quick stir before I let this nitric do its thing, now that I know we're actually dissolving some base metals. See if we can get any other base metals activated or open to the acids. And there we go. Alright, let's let this do its thing. Alright, looks like this reaction is done. Let's see if we've got all the base metals out of here. Get everything off the sides back in solution. We're going to go ahead and add just 3 more, see if we get a reaction. The solution is nice and hot, so we should see something rather quickly. And I didn't see anything, so I'm gonna have to say we are done with that. So let's see here. Let me get prepped up. We're gonna take this off the heat quick. That was my glove. Let's see. Iris is upstairs. She's not in the lab. Alright, let's let this cool down a little bit. We had a nice boil action going on, so I imagine everything got exposed just from the natural movement of the boiling. Let's see here. go ahead and stir this a little bit. I do see something kind of... Just in case. You never know, right? I really don't want to find it in the next step. And let's put the lid back on. Alright, I don't see any fumes or color change or bubbles, so I think we're still good. Alright, let's let this cool down and then get the filter in. Alright, our solution's cooled down a little bit. And I double filtered the flask right away because I imagine this stuff is going to be pretty yummy here. So we'll help the whole process kind of speed itself along. There we go. You know, I've always wondered, so they say that the carbon absorbs the gold, right? So after all of these rinses, after all of these boils, wouldn't you think the carbon would be fairly saturated so that it's not, I mean, if it's going to absorb something, I would imagine it's very, very little. Now, like if it was dry, right? If we had a complete dry material, like dry ash, and we went right into Aqua regia with it, I could see us losing gold. You know, because then that dry carbon is pretty thirsty. You know, we pretty much got everything dehydrated, and so as soon as we put the Aqua regia in there, it'd be clinging onto that. Unless there's an actual like scientific reason, maybe someone would be so generous to share. Look at all that little bit of gold that just does not want to come out here. There we go. There it is. Alright, well, I'm going to spray the rest of this off on camera. Or spray the rest of it off camera. Just so we don't keep using up a bunch of time. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean the beaker out so we can prepare this for Aqua regia. Well, before we go crazy, hey, quick shout out. Mississippi Prepper. Thanks, man. Alright, so our solution is filtered out. And it came out pretty clear at the bottom. It was actually, I can't say clear, it did show a little bit of dark, more so of a gray color than a blue color. So I imagine we were just picking up some of the color from our material. Alright, let's make some Aqua regia. Make sure we get everything under there. With a little bit of nitric. I think we're going to go with 6 mils to start. Throw that bad boy on the heat plate. Alright, let's let that nitric heat. See if we can get some golden solution. Alright, I'd have to say that that reaction is done. Let's put a little test sample in there. See if we got all the gold dissolved. Let's see here. Oh boy. What's your guess? You think we got it all? I don't know. Nope. Put the rest of that in there. I don't want to boil this, so I am going to turn it down a little. Alright, there we go. Well, let's let that eat and go from there. Good reaction. We still got plenty of gold left. Alright, so our solution is done. I just put a couple of drops on there just to see if we were going to have any reaction, and I didn't get any reaction of sorts, and we're sitting at like 140, 150, depending on where it's going at, 61, 62 degrees Celsius. So we're just going to let it cool down a little bit before we go ahead and put it in the filter, and in the meantime, I'm going to prep some ferrous sulfate, so we'll be ready to rock when this is done filtered out. Alright, I am going to put a little bit of concentrated sulfuric acid in here though, while we're waiting for this to cool, so we could drop any lead, if there's any present. Let's see here. There we go. There goes. That doesn't go in there. That goes down here. And I'm pretty sure I boiled off the rest of this nitric, but I am going to add a little bit of sulfamic just in case. I don't see any reaction. I'll give that a stir quick. It's probably not a good idea to put the sulfuric in here now with that carbon. Probably should wait to do that on the second refine, I imagine. Gotta love those afterthoughts, huh? Alright. And let's see temperature wise. 122. See here, 47 Celsius. All right, we'll let that sit here for a minute, and then we'll give it a filter. All right, workbench is looking a little full. So we've got our gold solution, beaker we're going to put it in for the first drop, and our ferrous sulfate, which we'll use to drop the gold. It's actually much cleaner than I expected it to be, so that's always a plus. Also, in the back side of the beaker there, I've got some more ferrous sulfate in the works, just in case we don't have enough to drop all the gold. So let's get this transferred over. Oh, yep, there's a good seal on there. And it's broken. Couple little taps at the end. Oh, I see a drop. There's always one or two. Always one or two. Go like this. Perfect. Alright, let's get that transferred over. Running on E. It's all right. We've got backup. Set that there. Get you guys zoomed in for this drop. Hopefully it's a good one. And here we go. Actually, hold on. Scientific straw. We need to break that bad boy out. All right. Little on the filter paper. There we go. Started to change color. Might need to freshen up my my stannous. This is pretty old. Let's see here. Okay, so here's my test solution. Stuff that I know has got gold in it. Yeah. I'd say the stannous is definitely getting tired. Well, cool. Time to update that bad boy. Close this all up. And introduce ferrous sulfate. Yeah, I'd say there's gold in there. I would have to say there is gold in there. Perfect. Well, let's let that settle overnight here, and we'll recheck that in the morning. Verify we got all the gold, and then we're going to clean it up. And look at that. Beautiful layer of gold there sitting on the bottom. Man, that stuff works great. Well, hold on. Before we go to cleaning up, let's check this up. Break out the scientific straw. And oh, it's fighting me. There we go. See if we got everything. This might take a little while, because I know the stannous is on the weaker side right now. So we'll just sit here and watch for a minute. I don't see any change in color. And if anybody's interested, here's our silver. Alright, I'm going to actually use a different temporary stock pot, or just another nitric bottle. And everything that I was gifted by the subscriber is going to go in here. And at the very end, I'll drop some SMB in this, just to make sure that we have all the gold, so we're splitting it up nice and even, alright? 2.4 grams of gold. Look at the color. It's beautiful. What's going on, guys? Oh, that was a great refining. Went nice and smooth. Got a good yield of gold out of that. So I'm going to keep that separated, and I'm going to keep it in powder form just for the time being until we finish up those other legs. So question for you guys. Now, I've got 2 batches. Now, this is from the same subscriber. He wants to stay anonymous. But do you guys want me to melt the 2 quarters together so we can give a bigger chunk away? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Because what I'm thinking is I can hammer it small enough to get my stamp on there. If that's the case. We'll have to see what we're dealing with after those legs. But anyways, had great fun with this. Beautiful weather to do all this outside work. You know, the gravity separation, the fire. I mean, it's perfect temperature for a fire. And so no, I think it went really well. Really exciting. And I'm trying a couple of new things on the videos. So please let me know if you like them. A little dance rave in there, you know, like with the fast forward stuff. Didn't think I was going to put it in there, but I wanted to try it. So tomorrow's Friday. If you're interested, go ahead and send me some pictures. We get you in for that subscriber video and possibly winning something. So I think that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.